motivation with 3 points. Refuge field, what to visualize and how to visualize. Buddha Shakyamuni, His Holiness the Dalai Lama, and all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the space in front of you, as so loving, caring, and embracing. And likewise, for the Bodhicitta field, visualize your two grandparents and all your family members, including children, and all other demon sentient beings, the human beings, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, hell beings, god and goddesses, spirits, leaving them aside, everyone around you. And here you are like the mother, so loving, caring, embracing. And the whole purpose of this practice is to awaken this Buddha nature within us by removing the mental dirts. And these mental dirts are of two kinds, the gross and the subtle. The gross might refer to as the afflictive obscurations, the presence which stops us from attaining the total fearlessness, referred to as nirvana, and the subtle one which stops us from attaining infinite happiness, referred to as the Buddhahood. And to remove this, we need to know the nature of the mental defilements. The nature of the mental defilements, we see that they are all related to this self-grasping ignorance. Somehow, either self-grasping ignorance per se, or it gives rise to its offshoots in the form of the gross afflictions, or the subtle stains that it leaves in the form of cognitive obscurations. And for all these, the remedy lies in the non-dual wisdom of emptiness. And this wisdom of emptiness is possible only through through meditation, and which in turn is possible only through gaining conviction in what emptiness is, for which it requires extensive study and learning of the wisdom of emptiness. So therefore the three wisdoms in progressively becoming subtler and progressively to be cultivated. Wisdom derived through learning, wisdom derived through reflection, and finally wisdom derived through meditation. So this whole purpose, and this wisdom must be complemented by the incredibly powerful enthusiasm of or the motivation of the Bodhicitta. Bodhicitta wishing to become Buddha for the benefit of sentient beings to remove all the mental defilements. And this Bodhicitta must be supported by renunciation, the desire to get away from the miseries that you feel, that you can foresee in existence because of being under strain of atomic karmas and afflictions. And this you extend to all the other beings, culminating in the Bodhicitta, the most beautiful mind of Bodhicitta. So with this in mind, imagine that you are leading this practice and all sentient beings join you, and all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas are watching us with so much love, care and attention. And just with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views, to you the Buddha with Dharma I pay homage. And just with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views, to you the Buddha with Dharma I pay homage. And just with great compassion, you taught the Immaculate Dharma to dispel all perverted views, to you the Buddha with Dharma I pay homage. I go for refuge and turn the light to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I make humiliations the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn the light to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I make humiliations the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. I go for refuge and turn the light to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. I make humiliations the practice of giving and so forth. May I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Jula Zogi Kane Gyatsu Je Dage Jinso Kebe Tsonamgi Chola Tenjir Sangye Drupare Shu Sangye Jula Zogi Chonamla Chanju Bardu Dani Gyatsu Dage Jinso Kebe Tsonamgi Chola Tenjir Sangye Drupare Shu Sangye Jula Zogi Chonamla Chanju Bardu Dani Gyatsu Dage Jinso Kebe Sonamgi Doba Benjir Sangye Drupare Shu. Independent origination, there is no ceasing, no rising, no annihilation, no permanence, no coming and no going. no separateness and no sameness. I prostrate to the consummate Buddha, the supreme among all teachers, upon the top of his peace, which is free of elaborations. Mothers and hearers, the Bodhisattvas and the Buddhas, which through the knowledge of all these hearers seeking passively into complete peace, which through the knowledge of hearts, forces, and greatness of achieve aims in the world, and through the possession of which have been subdued as expanded varieties of teachings. The one who has transformed into the reliable guide, motivated participants to benefits and truths. We are ready. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodham evam vadi mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodham evam vadi mahashramanaye svaha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhavam hetum tesham tathagato yavatat tesham chayo nirodham evam vadi mahashramanaye svaha. All phenomena arise in causes. The causes are taught by the Tathagata. The succeeding causes as well as taught by the great seer. Profound peace, liberation, free, clear like and non-composite, such as the things that Karma have discovered. Finding no one can fathom this teaching in silence of retirement words. Pure utterance, thought, and expression is the professional wisdom, which is unborn, unceased, and has the nature of space. Is all to the apprehension of self-realized wisdom. You the mother of the Buddhas of the 3 times of the obeisance. All composite things are impermanent, all contaminated things are the means of suffering. All phenomena of nature, emptiness, and selflessness, hence and the soul of peace. The Guru is the Buddha, the Guru is the Dhamma, likewise the Guru is the Sangha, the Guru is the source of every wholesome, Guru for affliction the Guru. By the sound of the Vaka and drum of the Dharma, you liberate all beings from disease. I beseech you to kindly intervene and give teachings until then with the expense of giving to humans. The Buddha does not wash the naked videos of beings, nor does he remove their miseries by his hands. His spiritual realizations are not transferred with them. It is by teaching the truth of the suchness that the beings are liberated. With folded hands, I beseech the Buddhas of all directions to shine light of Dharma for our Buddha. If you are attached to this life, you are not a spiritual practitioner. If you are attached to samsara, you have no renunciation. If you are attached to your own self-interest, you have no bodhicitta. If there is grasping, you do not have company. Praise to Buddha Shakyamuni, page 14. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent destroyer, one being, before destroyer, completely perfected, full of awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, Lord of the world, supreme God of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, endowed, transcendent destroyer, glorious conqueror, subduer from the Shakyagram, I persuade me of offerings and of refuge. When all supreme amongst humans who are born on this earth, you place yourselves right, and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who are wise then, I prostrate. With pure body, form supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, king that blazes in the 3 worlds, will of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. with the supreme sun's face like a spotless moon, color like gold to you are restrained. Must be like you, the people are not, incomparable wise one.
The Savior and the great compassion, founded by all understanding, you inherit the qualities like a vast ocean, you the color like spirit.
The purity that frees one from attachments, the virtue that frees one from low realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dhamma that pacifies or perpetuate. Those are liberated and also show the path of liberation, the worthy qualified with realizations, the devoted to the moral precepts, to you the sunlight prostrate. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions, perform all the perfect virtuous actions. Set your mind thoroughly, this is the teaching of the Buddha. Asara, official liberation, a flame of lamp, an illusion of drop to water bubble, a dream of light lightning in the cloud, see conditioned things as such. Through this marriage may sexual beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the four falls and be delivered from samsara's ocean, the tread by the waves of aging, sickness and death. Page 29, Hasutra. I prostrate to the irretrievable gem. Thus did I hear at one time the Buddha was dwelling on the Mount of Vultures mountain in Rajgrihat, together with a great community of monks and a great community of bodhisattvas. At that time the Buddha was absorbed in the concentration of all the categories of phenomena called profound illumination. Also at that time the Bodhisattva Mahasaya and Teshvara put upon the very practice of the profound illumination of wisdom and beheld those ideas also as inner in nature. Then to the part of the Bodhisattva Mahasaya and Teshvara, how should any child of the lineage who wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom train? He said that, and the Bodhisattva Mahasaya and Teshvara said this to the Venerable Shariputra, any son of the lineage or daughter of the lineage wishes to practice the activity of the profound perfection of wisdom should look upon it like this, correctly and repeatedly, beholding those five areas also as empty of inherent nature. Form is empty, emptiness is form. If it is not other than form, form is also not other than emptiness. In the same way, failing discrimination, opposite factors, and consciousness empty. Shariputra, likewise, all phenomena are empty, without characteristic, unproduced, unceased, stainless, not without stain, not deficient, not fulfilled. Shariputra, therefore, in emptiness, there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, no composite factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visual form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no phenomenon. There is no eye element, so no mind element, no mental consciousness element. There is no ignorance, no extinction of ignorance, and so on, up to and including no aging in death and no extinction of aging in death. Similarly, there is no suffering, origination, cessation of path, there is no result of wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Dwell in the perfection of wisdom, the mind without obscuration and thus without fear, and completely past being error, they reach the end point of nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times also manifestly completely awakened, not surpassable, perfect, complete enlightenment in reliance on perfection of wisdom. Therefore, the mother of the perfection of wisdom, the mother of great knowledge, Ansarvas mantra, mantra equal planning, the mother that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, should be known as truth since it is not false. The mother of the perfection of wisdom is declared, Yata Om Gade Gade Vara Gade Vara Samvade Bodhi Swaha. Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasaya should train in profound perfection of wisdom like that. And the Buddha rose from the concentration, commanding the Bodhisattva Mahasaya and Teshvara, saying, well said, son of the lineage, it is like that, it is like that. You should practice the profound perfection of wisdom, just as you indicated, even that the Bhagavad rejoice. The Buddha having thus spoken, the Venerable Shariputra, the Bodhisattva Mahasaya and Teshvara, who was surrounding the entirety, along with the world of gods, humans, and asuras and Gandharvas, were overjoyed and highly praised as spoken by the Buddha.
Bodhi Swati
teachings of the three supreme jewels, possessing the power of truth, may in and outer ignorance be transformed, may they be dispelled, may they be non-conscious, may they be pacified, may all negative forces opposed to the Dharma be completely pacified, may the host of 80,000 souls be pacified, may we be separated from problems and conditions harmful to the Dharma, may all enjoyments be in accord with the Dharma, may auspicious and perfect happiness pervade this space now. 8 verses 4 to 9, page 35. By Geshe Dorji Damdul. With the determination to achieve the highest aim for the benefit of all sentient beings, with surpassing the wish-fulfilling gem, may I hold them dear to all times. Whenever I interact with someone, may I view myself as the lowest known soul, and from the very depth of my heart, respectful of all others as superior. In all my deeds, may I grow up in my mind, and as soon as mental and emotional afflictions arise, as they endanger myself and others, may I storm them, confront them, and pervert them. When I see beings of unpleasant character, and those who oppress me storm negativity and suffering, I hold them dear all time, as though I discovered a true treasure. When others out of jealousy treat me wrongly, I take upon myself the defeat and offer to others the victory. When someone on whom I place great hopes mistreats me in extremely hurtful ways, may I regard and see as my precious teacher. It brings me offer benefit and joy to all my mothers, both directly and indirectly, and more I take upon myself all hurts and pains of my mothers. May all these remain undefiled by the state of the eight mundane concerns, and by recognizing all things as illusions, devotedly in the release from bondage. From my two collections, vast the space that I mentioned, working with effort and this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief living Buddha for all those whose minds bliss minds blind and ignorance. 7 practice, the next page, page 37. I bow down to the youthful Arya Manjushri. You, the Buddhas, the ones amongst humans, form freedom in the present, past, and future, in the worlds of 10 directions. All of you with body, speech, and sincere mind have bowed down. With the energy aspiration for the Bodhisattva way, with a sense of deep respect and with as many bodies as atoms in the world, all you Buddhas visualize as real and bow down. On every atom of the Buddha's number is particles. Each of them is a host of Bodhisattvas. I am confident that the sphere of all phenomena is entirely filled with the Buddhas in this way. With infinite devotion and praise for you, an ocean of sound from the aspects of my voice, I see the breathtaking exhibitions of Buddhas and celebrate all of you Sukhatas. Beautiful flowers and regal gardens, sweet music, scented oils and parasols, sparkling lights and sublime incense, offered to victorious ones and Buddhas. Wondrous and fragrant perfumes, scented with power, heat, highest bound to mirror, all wondrous offerings in spectacular array, offered to victorious ones. With thousands of offerings, berries and flowers, with profound admiration for all the Buddhas, with strength of contemplation their Bodhisattva way, offering bow down to all victorious ones. Every harmful action I've done with my body, speech, and mind, all belong by attachment, anger, and ignorance, all dissolved in the there before you. I lift my heart with joy for all the merit of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in 10 directions, of such realization. You who are the bright lights of the worlds in 10 directions, who attain the Buddha's omniscience through the stages of awakening. All you are my guides, please turn the supreme will of Dharma. With palms together, earnestly request to you who may visualize Parinirvana. Please stay with us for the abundance of the world, for the happiness and development of all the wonders in samsara. Whatever slight merit I may have accumulated by making prostrations, offering and confessing, rejoicing and requesting that the Buddha stay and teach, and not dedicate all this for the full awakening of all beings. This ground unloaded with perfume, sweet with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, 4 continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha fatal offering. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. Yeah. May I be blessed that my mind is directed towards the Dharma. May I be blessed that my Dharma practices on the proper path. May I be blessed that the path is free of flaws. And may I be blessed that the flaws are seen in the Dharma with exalted wisdom. Becoming utterly frustrated with ignorance. Seeing all aspects of samsara is viciously repulsive. Please bless me that my mind should overflows with the precious bodhicitta that cherishes the others more than myself. Please bless me that I have an immaculate experience of the wisdom of emptiness that does not see even an atom of intrinsic reality on the basis of understanding how things come into being by dependent origination and through mere conditioning. Please bless me that my mind should overflows with the precious wisdom of the non-duality of bliss and emptiness. Vedam Guru Ranam Mandalam Niratiyami. The foundation of all good qualities, the next page. This roadmap to Buddhahood. The foundation of all good qualities is our kind and perfect Guru. To him is the Guru path. By clearly seeing this and applying great effort, this better Guru rely on him with great respect. Understanding that the precious freedom of this world is found only once is clearly meaningful and is difficult to find again. This blessed Buddha gently command that unceasingly day and night takes its essence. This life is as impermanent as a water bubble. The bubble water quickly decays and death comes. After death, just like a shadow follows the body, results of virtues and non-virtues come and follow. Finding firm and definite conviction in this, please bless me always to be careful to abandon even the slightest negativity and accomplish all virtuous deeds. Samsara splendors are unsatisfying and unreliable. Seeking them to draw to all suffering. Recognizing these shortcomings, please bless me to get a strong wish for the bliss of liberation. Led by this pure thought, mindfulness, alertness, and great caution and rise. The root of teaching is keeping the breath of motion culture. Please bless me to accomplish this essential practice. Just as I fallen in the pursuit of samsara, so all other migratory beings. Please bless me to say this, train in Supreme Bodhicitta, and bear the responsibility of freeing migratory beings. Even if I develop Bodhicitta, but I don't practice the three transformality, I never achieve enlightenment. With my clear recognition of this, please bless me to practice the Bodhisattva vows with great energy. Once I classify distraction to wrong objects and correctly analyze the meaning reality, please bless me to gently, quickly bring into my mind stream the unified power of my body, especially the soul. Having become a pure vessel by training in the general path, please bless me enter the holy gateway of the fortunate ones, the supreme worship vehicle. At that time, the basis of accomplishing the two attainments is keeping pure vows and samaya. As I become firmly convinced of this, please bless me to protect these vows from places like my heart. Then, having realized the importance of the two stages, lessons of Vajrayana, a practice with great energy, never giving up the 4 sessions, please bless me to realize the teachings of the Holy Guru. Like that, may the Gurus who show the noble path and the spiritual friends who practice their long lives, please bless me to pacify completely without having any hindrances. The normalized, never separated from perfect Gurus may enjoy the magnificent Dharma by completing the qualities and stages of the paths may attain the state of Vedanta. Next mantra. You are a Bodhicitta, a great treasure of non-referential compassion, and Manjushri, master of the flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrayana, destroyed all the demons without exception. So Baba, proud to the sages of the level of snows, Lopsan Chapa, and reveal and make restorations.
Oh,
special non-referential compassion, and Majishri, master of flawless wisdom, as well as Vajrapani, destroys bones of demons without exception. So Baba, proud good for the sake of the level snows, also on top I do feed and make restorations. Okay, now we generate the non-consuming yoga, the Tanjini Kepa, the 4 practices, and the inner life, all the recitations. Of course, these are means to activate, nourish our practice. At the same time, the real practice should be these 4 things: single point meditation, renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness. Okay, so let's not forget this and see in that inner life. Because sometimes you can be very busy, or for whatever reason, there can be some excuses. Otherwise, they just see that for a growth, they should go to the state of fearlessness and infinite happiness to make sure that your life has a greater meaning. These are 4 points that we have to include. So when some people, in fact like myself, when I was in my younger days, like 20s, 30s, there are a lot of recitation, so many things, sadhana, so many readings, and then no time actually, by the time to practice, actually meditate, you're already exhausted. So the reading in these things, not make it too bulky, make it very concise, but what are really required, they are included, and then not to miss the actual practice, actually these meditations. And of course, not compromise your studies and reflections. Okay, so that is mind, single point of meditation, the first Bodhisattva practice, 5 minutes, ready? And we should be very careful with the arrows of meditation, which are mental laxity and mental excitement. We should make sure that we don't fall prey to these 2. And yes, of course, it's not that we'll be totally free of these 2 things. The moment you sense that these 2 things are coming, then you sort of the remedies. What are the 2 remedies? Introspection and mindfulness. Good. 5 minutes, ready? renunciation. At the purpose of renunciation, we read down the base of the 4 seals of the Buddha's teachings. Ready? Okay, this is going to be analytical meditation. And okay, today we'll try the first two seals, not as guided. You engage in an analytical meditation on your own. I will simply cite the lines, and when I cite the first line, the first renunciation, you think what renunciation is, and then gradually move to the first line, which is all composite is impermanent. We'll start from this. And after about like 2 minutes, outside the second line, all contaminated things of nature, you take your time, slowly wind up your earlier the first time meditation, and you gradually move to the second. And then when I move to the third, emptiness part, I will give the instructions. Ready? Renunciation, the meaning of the renunciation. All composite things are impermanent. All contaminated things are of nature. Everything is of nature emptiness, surfaceness. Okay, how can we bring an end to all these miseries, agonizing miseries? This is bringing an end to the cause of miseries. The Buddha indicated, Vedharma hetu prabhava, hetum desham tathagato hevata. How to bring an end to the cause of miseries? Ultimate cause of miseries is self-grasping ignorance. And the ignorance, the counterforce, the only counterforce is the wisdom. We need to introduce the level to wisdom. What is that wisdom? The discerning mind, with apprehension of Bodhicitta tells you reality. What's the reality? This is what the Buddha indicated as everything's nature, emptiness, selflessness. Okay, let's go to meditate emptiness, selflessness on the US object of the analysis. What are you doing? I'm meditating. What is body doing? My body is in meditative posture. And how does this person, who identifies the self, how does this person appear to you? As objectively real, or like a dream that mind is projecting it? But of course it's so real, it's objectively real. Nothing to do with mental projection. This belief, this apprehension of the self as subject real, this is a grasping things. How do you know that this is not valid mind? Instead, this is ignorance. How do you know that? To evaluate if the self just exists the way it appears, the way it is the way it appears, and where it is apprehended by the self-grasping ignorance, we need to employ the ultimate analysis. Remember what Arjuna taught in Ratnamala or the Precious Garland. If the mirage were the water, one of those by the mirage in water, if the self were to be to what exists objectively, why do we not see the self as a group closer to object? Okay, now there's closer to object by subjecting self to ultimate analysis. But this what we see is just first, okay, whatever is not the self, objective self, we just ignore. We are looking for objective self. First what we see is the thin layer of skin, behind that the fatty tissues, behind that the whole bone, whole skeleton, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, pancreas, stomach, gallbladder, liver, all the solid parts they constitute the element of earth, and the element of earth, none of the element of earth is this objective self. Whereas the next element of water, 4 liters of blood which is pumped in and out by the heart to different parts of the body. Of course that is not me. Element fire, the 2,500 joules of energy that a body has. Of course the body heat is not me. Element of air, 4.6 liters of air that you breathe in and out through your lungs to different parts of the body. That is also not me. Element space, 99.99% of the body is space. The space occupied by the electrons, protons, neutrons, so small as compared to the space between these elemental particles. So essentially we are like the space. But I'm a solid person. The space is like in nature. Even element space is also not me. What is left now? Element of consciousness or mind is left. And even the element of mind is also not me. I'm a male, I'm a female. The mind does not have a gender. Gender is posited on the basis of the body. And also that people can see me, people cannot see my body, see my mind. So this element of mind, element of consciousness is also not me. Keep that aside. What is left now? Nothing is left here. So what you see, I see just these 6 elements. Which of 6 elements is this? Is to be identified as the self, is to be identified as intrinsic one with the self, which means to be identified as the objective self. None of the 6 elements to be identified with the objective self. Okay. If you understood this, you understood the second essential, that the self is not to be identified, is empty of being intrinsically one with its parts. So now let us see if the self exists as intrinsically different from its parts, keeping aside all the parts, all the atoms, all the 6 elements. What is left there is different from the 6 elements. Nothing is left there as a self different from the 6 elements. If you understood this, this is in lieu of understanding the self being empty of intrinsically different from its parts. Okay, now from the object, what is there as a self? Where is the self? Where is there as a self? Nothing but identified as self from the object. From the object itself is empty. Stay in this experience for a while. In this experience, not affirming negative. In the form of not affirming negative. Stay in this experience. Okay, this amazing experience, but what's the benefit of this meditation? It's so profound, but what's the benefit? Yes, just as the self is one subject to ultimate analysis, it is seen to, you are seen to see the real nature of the self. That the self is empty of objective existence. Likewise, if you subject all your sorrows, sickness, aging, death, tension, depression, anxiety, anguish, to the same ultimate analysis, we see that just the self disappears. To discover that the self is empty of objective existence, all the sorrows will also be discovered its true nature, their true nature, that they are empty of objective reality. So here, instantly you feel that the sorrow, you transcend the sorrow. This is what everybody is seeking, the absolute peace. Your mind will instantly feel absolute peace which we have never experienced before. This is known as the fourth seal. Transcending sorrow is absolute peace. Just try to build this wish, generate this wish that may I be able to experience this emptiness where all my miseries dissolve, all my sorrows are transcended. This aspiration that we generate now is the actual understanding of renunciation. While renunciation has many levels of understanding, very gross ones, where you transcend your miseries. Next, where you transcend your afflictions and contaminant karmas. Next, where you transcend your self-grasping ignorance. And finally, where you experience emptiness, where all these sorrows dissolve and sorrows are transcended. And at the moment the sorrow is transcended in this experience of emptiness, extremely light feeling of the absolute peace dawns in you. That aspiration to experience this emptiness, where all sorrows are transcended, this aspiration is known as the final understanding of renunciation. Stay in this experience of renunciation for a while. This renunciation is the final benchmark for your being a spiritual journey follower, or someone who's following the spiritual path. This is the final understanding as to what a spiritual practitioner means, who's on the journey to enlightenment. Okay, slowly come out of this practice and let's take a few seconds rest before we move to Bodhicitta. Okay, ready? Okay. This Bodhicitta practice is extremely precious. For that matter, let us invoke the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in space in front of us, so loving, caring, embracing, and for whom you generate Bodhicitta is all the other sentient beings, your parents, your children, your family members, and all the other sentient beings, leaving them aside, animals, insects, hungry ghosts, helping, spirits, God and goddesses, everyone here in Thosamling, in your own country, in the world, in the Milky Way galaxy, and in the entire universe. Everyone is with you, and you inspire them to practice Bodhicitta to get to the ultimate state of happiness. We're going to do this practice on the basis of the four measurables. And at times you may feel the practice a little superficial. It doesn't matter. This is the meaning of the practice. If it is not at all superficial, then it's not practice. So what do we need to practice? Practice means we start something which is not naturally occurring, which we call as superficial, and eventually it becomes real. Then you will feel the benefit that it really takes you a very different plane of reality of immense happiness and joy. Immeasurable loving kindness. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are endowed with happiness and the causes of happiness. Cause of happiness primarily consisting of the wisdom of emptiness, the most fearless wisdom of emptiness, and the most beautiful mind of the body, unconditional love for the bodhicitta. May all my dear mother sentient beings be endowed with happiness and causes of happiness. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are endowed with happiness and cause of happiness. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you're making such a courageous commitment, like the mother after all these many years of hardship in raising her children. Today, the eldest daughter, just aged 12, and the eldest son, aged 11, they come to the mother, telling the mother, "Mother, please take rest. You've done everything for us. You love so much, love us so much. You've done everything for us. Well, we are there to take care of you. We'll take care of all our siblings." And the mother could not believe her eyes and ears. Extremely proud and happy today. This is exactly what all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas feel towards you, that they feel so proud of you. Over you taking the responsibility for all the dear sentient beings. This pride and happiness all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas experience invoke the compassion of Nishimans to send for nectars that are soothing light between ultimate sentient beings. The mere touch of lesser nectars with the bodies of these yours instills in all happiness and causes happiness in the minds of sentient beings to yourself. And you witnessing such a miraculous happening across all the sentient beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, silent relief. Next, immeasurable compassion. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are free from suffering and the causes of suffering. The cause of suffering primarily consisting of self-grasping ignorance and self-centered attitude, and along with their offshoots in the form of inappropriate attention, gross afflictions, and the Gotamic karmas, and alongside the subtle stains in the form of karmic obscurations. May all my dear mother sentient beings be freed from suffering and cause of suffering. I will take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are freed from suffering and the cause of suffering. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living with such a courageous commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of Nishimans who send the nectars of the soothing light towards you and all dear mother sentient beings. The mere touch of lights and nectars with the bodies brings you yours. Washes away all the miseries and causes of miseries from you and from all dear mother sentient beings. And you witnessing such a miraculous happening across all the dear mother sentient beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, silent relief. Next, immeasurable joy. How good would it be that all my dear sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that beings endowed with. May all my dear mother sentient beings never be separated from happiness and the causes of happiness that they're endowed with. I'll take the responsibility that all my dear mother sentient beings are never separated from happiness and the cause of happiness that they're endowed with. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing that you make such courageous commitment, they intensely happy and proud of you. This pride and happiness invoke the compassion of Nishimans who sent for nectars of the soothing light towards you and all dear mother sentient beings. The mere touch of lust nectars with the beings and you, stabilizes the happiness and causes the happiness to be endowed with. And you witnessing such a miracle sudden close all of dimensional beings, you are intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, sound the relief. Immeasurable equanimity. How good would it be that all my dimensional beings are freed from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others, and instead abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dimensional beings equally, leaving them aside. May all my dimensional beings be free from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. I'll take the responsibility that all dimensional beings are free from the biased attitude of excessive attachment towards some and aversion towards others. The Buddhas and Bodhisattvas witnessing the living with such a courageous commitment, the intensely happy and proud few, this pride and happiness that invoke their compassionate initial minds to present the nectar of supreme spiritual all dimensional beings. The mere touch of us nectars with the bodies of music yours, washes over all the biases of the beings and instead making them abide in the great state of equanimity, embracing all other dimensional beings equally with love and affection, leaving them aside. And you witnessing such a miracle happening towards all of the dimensional beings, you're intensely happy. Take 3 deep breaths, silent with relief. Underscoring all the formation goals is unconditional love to all dimensional beings. Just about in this experience of unconditional love, visualizing, imagine that you are looking at the eyes of each dimensional beings with so much love and affection, care, attention, concern, to the extent that each one of them feels themselves as so special in your eyes. With folded hands, let us make a Bodhicitta commitment together. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear dimensional beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear dimensional beings. May I become Buddha for the benefit of all my dear dimensional beings. Abide in this, the courageous mind of the most beautiful mind that possibly exists in this whole universe, the Bodhicitta. Slowly transform this beautiful mind Bodhicitta into a spotless, clean moon disk. Clean, spotless, clean, white moon disk, horizontally sitting on the heart. Oh, yet it's amazing that you made such a courageous commitment to become Buddha, but how come that you can't become Buddha? No matter how much you squeeze a handful of sand, no oil come out of that. Yes, that's true, but I'm not like a handful of sunflowers. I'm not like a handful of sunflowers sand, but instead I'm like a handful of sunflower seeds, squeezing which all does come out. I have a Buddha nature within me, but how come that you have not become Buddha till now, since time immemorial? That's true. So far I've been deceived by the 2 demons, self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude. Today I'm disillusioned by these 2. I'll do everything to exterminate the 2 demons. What are you going to do? I'm going to resort a very powerful remedy. What's that? The wisdom of emptiness, the non-dual wisdom of emptiness. Okay, let us quickly retreat the experience of emptiness, which we did as the 3rd seal of the 4 seals. What are you doing? I'm meditating. And you know that how does this self appear to you? As objective real or as subjective real? Of course, as subjective real. That belief is the self-grasping ignorance. How do I know this? Remember what Nagarjuna said? If the mirage to be water were not those fools, but the mirage see water. If the self exists objectively, why do not see the self as a whose object? Now let's go closer to the object by subjecting this stuff to ultimate analysis. Subjecting this stuff to ultimate analysis, we end up seeing just the 6 elements: and earth, water, fire, air, space, and consciousness. Okay. What is saying now? I'm just seeing 6 elements. Where is the cell? Which of the 6 elements to be identified as intrinsic one with the cell? None is to be identified as the cell. If you understood this, you've understood the understanding the emptiness of objects being intrinsic one with its parts. Okay, now second possibility, second option. If the self still you still think that the self exists objectively, then second option lies in the fact that the self should be intrinsically different from its parts, different from its 6 elements. Remove the 6 elements, what is there? Left is different from the 6 elements. Nothing is left there. Now from the object, where is there to be identified as the self? Nothing to be identified as the self there. Okay, the self simply dissolves. This is what you are discovering. This is not what you are inventing. This is not what your mind is exaggerating or refining. This is what you are discovering. That's such an empty from object. Stay in the experience for a while. Slowly transform this fearless mode of the wisdom of emptiness into a spotless clean white vajra, thumb-sized white vajra, vertical sitting on the Bodhicitta heart. Okay, that's amazing. Now you have the Munta is symbolic of the convention Bodhicitta to remedy this self-centered attitude. And a vajra is symbolic of the ultimate Bodhicitta, the non-dual wisdom of the Arya Bodhisattvas, to exterminate all the mental defilements, be it afflictive obscurations or carnal obscurations. Amazing. So the set of these two, the Vajramoon guarantees that you're going to experience the Buddha nature in its full form, the form of complete enlightenment, Buddhahood, where you will reach the state of total fearlessness and infinite happiness. Yes, I'm so fortunate. But let us not forget that your 2 parents, your children, and all devil consumers, they're suffering. Yes, generate very strong compassion towards all the beings, all the devil sentient beings. This strong compassion invoke the Vajramoon in the heart and multiply infinite number of times. Share one set of the Vajramoon with a mother at the heart, one set of Vajramoon with a father at his heart, one set with each one of your children, each one of family members, each one of the human beings here in Thosamling, hungry ghosts, helpings, insects, animals, god and goddesses, spirits in Thosamling, and each of the sentient beings in the world, in the entire universe. Okay, that's amazing. You've been extremely kind, so loving, so caring, that you share this Vajramoon with all the different sentient beings. Amazing. At the same time, let's not forget that all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas that are watching us, why not we request all the Buddhist Bodhisattvas to be the guests and to be the witness to undertaking the aspiration, undertaking the ceremony of the aspiration Bodhisattva vow. I suggest you making the request along with all the sentient beings. Let's slowly stand and make requestation for all the Bodhisattvas. Okay, just if you can sit on your right knees. Okay, Okay, let us turn to page 50. So this is this ceremony of taking aspiration Bodhisattva vow, and as I said yesterday, that anyone is entitled to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow ceremony, and there's no special commitment. It's not necessary that you should be Buddhist, and as long as you can make a commitment that that from today onwards I'll try to be kind towards other people, and I will not harm others. This much, if you can commit yourself, you are entitled to take this aspiration Bodhisattva vow. Okay, with this in mind, let us reinforce and visualize all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas so loving and caring, the way and the manner in which you as a young tender girl, young tender boy, for the first time in your life, at the age of 5, you are making public appearance on behalf of your school, and your parents are so proud of you, and they leave everything behind to join as in the audience, waving their hands to you, reassuring you that they are there to give you more support. They are so proud of you. This is exactly what all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are feeling today. They are so happy today, and that you, as the eldest, the child of the family, you encourage all the siblings to join you in this performance. This is exactly what you're doing, to encourage all the dear sentient beings to take part in this ceremony, so that they will undertake this journey of enlightenment. So with this mind, in the process of taking this ceremony, if you feel pain in your legs, you sit in the most comfortable position. Okay, so with this mind, let's try to remember the meanings there. I'm not going to repeat the meanings. These are pretty self-explanatory. And imagine that you are leading this practice, and all the Sensation are joining us through your inspiration, and all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas feeling so proud, and with total focus, they are observing what you're doing, what you and all the Sensation are doing. I go for refuge to the true gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious to the my heart. I go for refuge to the true gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious to the my heart. I go for refuge to the true gem. I confess the negativities individually. I rejoice in the virtues of all the beings. I hold the precious to the my heart. The next two verses are the ceremony. And with the completion of the third recitation of the next two verses, imagine just feel the joy of having received that spiritual vow. Just feel that you've received that spiritual vow, and you just feel the joy. Gurus, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as the previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully built the Bodhisattva practices, I was for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta. And I shall do successfully training the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Just as previous Buddhas have generated the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as the successfully learned Bodhisattva practices, I was for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall do successfully training the Bodhisattva practices. Gurus, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please be here to me. Mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise for the benefit of all sentient beings, I will dwell in the mind of Bodhicitta, and I shall not successfully dwell in the Bodhisattva practices. Feel the joy of the heavenly suggestions of Bodhisattva vow. Very fortunate, extremely fortunate. And the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they feel so proud of you today, after all these many innumerable lifetimes, that they've been only hearing bad things about you, only seeing that you are always engaged in negative comments. And today you are doing something very, very, very different, extremely worthwhile, extremely virtuous. They are so proud. And despite the happiness of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, invoke the Vajramon in the full-fledged form that they have to multiply infinite number of times. Like rain shower, they descend and merge with the one that visualizes your heart, thereby becoming known to the world, stabilized and blessed. Likewise, all these replicas of Vajramon from the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, they descend to merge with the one that visualizes the heart of the mother, at the heart of the Father, at the heart of each one of the children, each of the sentient beings in the entire universe, the animals, insects, herbivores, beings, God and goddesses, spirits, the humans, everyone, thereby becoming non-dual, stabilized and blessed. This is amazing. This guarantees that all the beings are going to no more suffering in samsara. They'll experience a total fearlessness, no fears from any form of miseries. And on top of that, they experience the expansive infinite happiness. This is amazing. This is the greatest gift that we're making to all the demon sentient beings, and today we made it. And this is the greatest offering, and the Buddha very clearly indicated that one moment of generated compassion far excels the offering of the whole universe filled with gems from those bodhisattvas. If this were the case, what I mentioned about having taken the actual bodhisattva, heightened state of compassion, practice of compassion. So this is the greatest offering, and today you make this offering to all bodhisattvas. And of your life, the last 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 60 years, what have you been done? And today, what we've done is the most meaningful. You have given a great meaning to your life. And today, this is what you've done, this great meaning, the meaning that you've given to your life. It's amazing. So all these things are happening because of the kindness of all the Buddhist bodhisattvas. I suggest you thanking all the Buddhist bodhisattvas, along with all demon sentient beings. Again, that is slowly stand to make true persuasions to all the Buddhist bodhisattvas. Please take your seats. Sit comfortably. Okay, let's turn to page 51. The first verse, to be connected with this practice in future lifetimes, the very precious practice. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the personal life. Okay, page 51. Page 51. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the personal life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the personal life. Throughout my future lifetimes, may I always be guided by the compassionate Buddha and be able to uphold the true precious bodhicittas even in the personal life. In order to further increase this bodhicitta from now on, those with discernment who have lucidly seized an awakened mind of bodhicittas in this way, to any place in the following manner. Today my life is born fruit, having well obtained this human existence. I've been born in the family of the Buddhas and now I'm one of Buddha's children. Thus, whatever actions I do from now on must be in accord with the family. Never shall I disgrace or pollute this noble and unsteady traits. Just like a blind man discovering a jewel in behavior rubbish, by likewise by some coincidence and awakened mind, is the supreme ambrosia that overcomes the sovereignty of death, is the inexhaustible treasure that eliminates all poverty in the world, is the supreme medicine that quells the world's disease, is the tree that shelters all beings wandering entirely in the path of conditioned existence, is the universal bridge that leads to freedom from unhappy states of birth, is the dawn and moon of the mind that dispels the torment of disturbing conceptions, is the great sun that finally removes the mystic ignorance of the world, is the quintessential Vajra from the churn of the Dharma. All those get struggling in the path of conditioned existence, who wish to experience the bounties of happiness, this will satisfy them with joy and actually please them in supreme bliss. Today, in the presence of all the protectors and grant the world to the guests, at a festival of temporary and ultimate delight, may gods and demigods of all be joyful. Okay, this is a practice. So today what we did is like a complete practice. So I know that many of you are very interested to extract the meaning out of life, a greater meaning out of life. For that matter, it requires consistency in your practice. Consistency. It's not like just attend a retreat, take on the whatever program conducted, and then once you leave, you forgot. This should not be the way. This is not the meaning of extracting meaning out of your life. So we should be doing something. Finally, once you know where the Mount Everest is, then to enjoy Mount Everest, you have to walk towards it. Always saying that is Mount Everest, this Mount Everest, inevitably closer to Mount Everest. We have to walk. So what is that? What is this? The metaphor? Walking towards Mount Everest. There's doing some practice every day, waiting, and once in a while you may get lost somewhere. You go close to the Mount Everest, and then you may get trapped in some hotels somewhere, right? So no, there's Mount Everest there. So that will be done through more extensive studies. Extensive studies will constantly remind you that, okay, don't forget Mount Everest. And it will give you better and better the roadmap to the Mount Everest, clarity to where it is. So extensive studies, reflection, not compromised while making the practice, but the practice must be done on a daily basis. What we did today, that is a complete practice. So it doesn't matter whatever tradition that you're following, say the Theravada tradition, Chinese tradition, Tibetan tradition, within Tibetan, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyuma, believe it or not, if you do this practice and you meet with any accomplished teachers from any tradition, Sakya, Kagyu, Nyuma, any tradition, they will be so happy to see that. In fact, this is what happened once. One of my friends, and who has been a devout practitioner and who has been reciting, there's lots of things that he used to recite every day, like 3 hours a day. And after 20 years he came to me, after 20 years, and he told me that, Geshe, now I have my personal experience last 20 years. Last 20 years I've been extremely devout in this practice and devoted to this practice, doing this recitation for like 30 years. I can see that now confidently, confident I can say that I've not transformed at all. My mind remains just the same. 20 years. Where did I go wrong? This is what he said. I said, okay, fine. You have discovered it. You have discovered a very important thing. Now what you do is that you give him a list of what you've been doing. What do you call as Dharma practice? Just a minute. He gave me a lengthy list. This. 3 hours a day, every day. He gets up so early in the morning. And then I cut down many of these recipes, make it like 10 minutes. From 3 hours, make it 10 minutes. And I asked him to add these practices. Single body meditation, renunciation, bodhicitta, wisdom, emptiness. And after about like 1 month, he tells me that this 1 month far excels the experience of the last 20 years. So this is where we can go wrong. And some people, they just say, oh, this is your commitment, this reading, this you have to recite this, you have to recite this, and then you have like 2-3 hours of recitation. And then by the time it's for your practice, actual meditation, your energy exhausted, finished. You don't have energy left. So therefore, reciting these things, make it short but very concise, comprehensive. And the actual practice should be done. So meanwhile, study, reflection should not be compromised. Okay, let's do the direction prayer. So what I'm saying is that this practice which we did, this one, the recording is there. You can take the recording with you. You can ask for the recording from Venerable Samula and from Thosamling, and also the Tibet House. You can ask for the recording. They will be happy to give the recording. And
it's going to be uploaded onto some YouTube channels, so it's available for everyone.
It's going to be available for everyone. So if you don't know how to check it, just ask office. So how do you go about the watching it? Okay. So with this, this is like what the say it's complete, and if you do it on your own, it may not take like 1.5 hours. So because in group it always takes longer than when you do it on your own. So when you do it on your own, you can even shorten some of the practices. And in fact, I've compiled the 3 versions. What you can do, the lengthy version, which is like 1 hour to 1.5 hours, and the middle version, which is about like 30 minutes, and the short version, which is like 10 minutes. I compiled these 3 there, and this will not in form of the teachings, but in the form of the written texts. So if you're interested, I'll be happy to give that to you. Just let me know. Otherwise, I can give it to Thosamling. Thosamling can upload it on your website, and people who are interested, they can download that. Okay.
I have a question.
Sorry, your name again?
Shelly.
Okay, Shelly, tell me.
When we do the aspirational vow of Bodhicitta,
What's it about?
What is the significance of kneeling on the right knee?
Okay, right knees. So this is like, again, this is a receptivity, saying that I'm serious. These are all the just conventions of the conventions, saying that I'm very serious. So, for example, you go to meet with, for example, the queen, now the king, and so forth. There are all these protocols there. These protocols are to what? To tell you that this is not an ordinary meeting. This is a very important meeting, right? So human beings, our mind is so weak. We need to remind us, we need indications to say that this is a serious thing. You're getting it? This is a serious thing. So these are the gestures as conventions to automatically instill in us a feeling that this is a serious thing that I'm doing. Yeah. Okay, good. Dedication prayer. I dedicate the marriage basket that towards the realization of the deeds and the prayers of the Buddhas and the Bodhisattvas of the 3 times, and to the upholding of the doctrine of scripture and insight. May in all lives, through the force of this marriage, never separate from the 4 gifts of mind and legal, and accomplish all the stages of the path, renunciation, bodhicitta, perfectly in the 2 stages. From my tribulations, master space that are immense, from working with effort in this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds blind and ignorance.